Hello everyone. Unless you've been living under a rock for the past forever, you would know that in October, Doctor Who's got a brand new spin-off coming called Class. This is really exciting, and yet for some reason, loads of people are being pessimistic about it. All you have to do is look at the cast announcement video that came out back in April, and you'll see exactly what I mean. And I think this is really unjustified. So, with the imminent arrival of the show, today I give 5 reasons why we should be bloody excited for it. Here goes. Reason number 1. It's written by Patrick Ness. This man is a brilliant writer, and you don't have to take my word for it. The amount of awards he's won for his works is just staggering. Admittedly, I've only read one of his novels, A Monster Calls, but this is the only book that's ever made me cry, and is absolutely incredible. I'll definitely recommend you read the book and watch the film when it comes out in a few months from now. Not only is Patrick a great writer, but he's also a Doctor Who fan, who seems to have worked so hard to make Class something us Whovians will enjoy. By reading some of his tweets, you can just tell that he genuinely cares about Doctor Who's audience, and really doesn't want to let anyone down with this show he's making. So, since we have such a great writer writing all episodes of a spin-off for a show that he loves, Class must be brilliant. Reason number 2. Currently, we know next to nothing about the programme. At the time of filming this video, all that we seem to know is who the main cast is, these guys, where it's set, Coal Hill School, that's now apparently called Coal Hill Academy, and a couple of episode titles as well. For example, I think episode 1 is called The Prom, which is quite interesting. Stephen Moffat has also teased that this series is going to be dark and sexy, whatever that means. And also, we've had very few promotional photos and filming pics / videos to look at, and a trailer still hasn't been released. And as for the villain, what do we know about him? Or it? Even though Patrick Ness has given a sort of synopsis for the show, even that is beautifully vague. He teases, "What if your planet was massacred and you were the sole survivor? What if a legendary figure out of time and space found you a place to hide? But what if the things that want to kill you have tracked you down? And worst of all, what if you haven't studied for your A-levels?" Coal Hill School has been a part of the Doctor Who universe since the very beginning, but that has come at a price. All the time travelling over the years has caused the very walls of space and time to become thin. There's something pressing in on the other side, something waiting for its chance to kill everyone and everything, to bring us all into shadow. So, that's quite dramatic. You can infer a whole number of things from this description, but what's undeniable is this won't be just a standard school-based drama. I do think it works to the show's advantage that currently we have no idea what to expect from it. It means everything will be a surprise when we finally get to see the story unfold. Reason number 3 is that Class looks to be relatable. For a programme to work, the audience needs to be able to connect to it in some way, and I think Class need not worry about this. With it being a school-based drama that's set during sixth form, many of us should immediately be able to relate to it, especially if you've already been through sixth form or are lucky enough to be doing it at the same time as these characters when the show eventually airs. What will certainly help is the fact that the main characters all appear to be from different backgrounds, so most of us should be able to empathise with at least one of them. It appears as though Class will address many of the issues that we teenagers face throughout the school, not just sixth form, so it's things like relationships and the stresses of work and exams. So that should be interesting and almost reassuring to see, I think. Especially as far as I'm aware, we haven't really had a school-based drama before. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. So Class should, hopefully, be providing something different but also interesting whilst being relatable. Reason number 4. Doctor Who has had spectacular spin-offs. Ever since the show was revived back in 2005, the BBC have produced 2 spin-offs, The Sarah Jane Adventures and Torchwood, both of which were utterly flawless. Well, I say flawless. The last series of Torchwood wasn't great. So yeah, really we should trust the BBC to not let us down with Class, because they seem to know what they're doing and they appear to know how to make a Doctor Who spin-off work. They managed to make a show for kids in The Sarah Jane Adventures and a show for adults in Torchwood, and now it looks like they're making a show for teenagers in Class. And I do think this will work, primarily because of the reason I stated in the previous reason, that was a bad sentence, about the show being relatable. The show has the ability to deal with more adult and darker themes than Doctor Who generally does, but I don't think we have to worry about it being quite as dark as some of the episodes we've had in Torchwood. And then on the other side of things, it can be quite light-hearted because it's involving teenagers and apparently we have an optimistic view on life, but we don't have to worry about it being quite childish, which admittedly the Sarah Jane Adventures did sometimes, and that's because Class looks like it's going to be catered for a young adult and teenage audience, whereas the Sarah Jane Adventures was more younger teenagers and children. I'm going to give a spoiler warning for this next reason, because in case you didn't already know about it, it will spoil a potentially major surprise. So if you'd rather not risk this, just click the link there and it'll take you straight past this reason and to the end of the video, so then you don't have to worry about me spoiling this for you. I'll just give you a few seconds to do that. Okay then, so reason number 5, the god that is Peter Capaldi will cameo in the series. Apparently it will be in episode 1 and it will basically explain how Class ties into Doctor Who. Obviously part of the reason I'm so excited about Peter Capaldi being in this series is because it's Peter Capaldi who just makes whatever he's in 10 times better, let's be honest here. Also, it's going to be really good because it will make the wait for Doctor Who a bit more bearable, because we'll obviously be seeing the Doctor again now, as opposed to not having to wait until Christmas, which by then will be exactly a year since we've last seen him. So yeah, it just makes the waiting game a bit more easier to cope with. I absolutely loved it when David Tennant and Matt Smith appeared in the Sarah Jane Adventures, and even though the likelihood is Peter Capaldi will only appear in Class for a couple of minutes, I still think his appearance will be just as spectacular as the other 2 Doctors when they appeared in the Sarah Jane Adventures. I just think it's great being able to see the Doctor from a different perspective through seeing him in one of the spin-off shows. There we go then. Hopefully if you were someone who had your reservations about Class, this video has helped you to realise how actually you should be so hyped for it. If there's a reason that you think I've missed and is why you're excited for Class, please put it in the comments down below and let me know. Also, if you liked this video, please do give it a like to let me know, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you very much for watching. I shall see you next time.